All right, YouTubers, welcome back. My name's Dave. Okay, it has been since I started this channel almost 2 years ago now. I'm sitting on the tailgate of the Nissan because that's what truck people do.
No shit, Sherlock.
And well, I want to give you my 5 biggest likes and dislikes now that I've owned the truck for more than a minute. It's actually been like 4 months, but who's counting? So let's get into it. Before I get into the 5 things I like and the 5 things that I dislike, I would, I want you guys to know, I think it's very important to know where a person's coming from vehicle-wise when they do these vehicle reviews, when they buy a new vehicle. Now, the last vehicle I had is a GMC. It was a GMC Acadia. It was a 7-passenger SUV. And it was a great vehicle. I loved it. It was quiet. It was smooth. I bought it for the family. We had kids. I had 2 kids. I have 2 kids. My girlfriend has 2 kids. We threw everybody in. We'd go camping or dinner or whatever. It had enough space. So my previous vehicle before that was a Volkswagen, the small SUV. It was a Tiguan. I love that thing. It had a lot of giddy up and go. Didn't have very many amenities, but it was a fun little SUV. So, like I said, I think it's important to know where somebody's coming from, because if you're coming from, say a luxury vehicle to a truck, well, you're going to be like, oh, well, I hate the ride and I hate this and it doesn't have that and blah, blah, blah. So you might get a bad, I don't know, you might put off the wrong thing because you're saying that your truck isn't as nice as your previous vehicle. Well, I just want everybody to know that I loved my previous vehicles. So getting into this one, there's some things that I really like and there's some things that I really don't like. So let's get into it. All right, going to start out on the inside of the truck because that's where a couple of my likes are. And the first one, these are really in no particular order for the likes. I like them all equally, I should say. So the first one is basically the layout of the interior of the buttons, the dash, all this. It's pretty well thought out. Now, if you're into touch screens and all that other stuff, you might not like this interior because it does have the hard buttons. But that's what I like about it. That's one of the big things. My seat warmers are all buttons. This heated steering wheel is a button. Your 4-wheel drive, your air conditioning, all of this, the whole layout. It's just rather nice. There's a big area here, big center console. I did buy a tray to go in the center console. Makes it that much more usable because it's just like a big giant gaping area in there if you don't put a tray in there. So that's one of the big likes about this truck. The next thing I like in here is, and your truck might not have this, it's basically a feature upgrade, are the leather seats. The leather seats in this truck, they are super comfortable. I am very glad that I opted to buy a truck with leather seats. They're nice and warm. They they don't get too hot. They're just nice, comfortable seats. Some seats are just not comfortable. Well, these are nice and comfortable. Another thing, I guess that it all kind of runs together in one big like, is all the features that this truck has That's, you know, it's sunglasses up here. I got my garage door opener. You know, this thing is decked out with options. So that's one of the, that's all, like I said, all those kind of run together. One of the other things that I really like about the truck is the looks. I mean, it's just got a nice, it's got a nice look. You know, it's kind of squared off. It's got a nice little rounded spots here and there. I guess if you like the look, then you like the truck. If you don't like the look, well, then you might not like the truck. It's just, I like the look, and that's one of the reasons why I bought it. It's, you know, nice. It's a nice looking, decent looking truck. All right, so I think that's 3, and this would be number 4. And I'm under the hood because the power plant is what I like. The power. This thing has some giddy up and go. They're not kidding. It's a V6. It's the only one in class, and it'll go. You hammer down. You know, you go. I've spun the tires a couple times, getting used to, like that power right there. That guy's got some power. I've spun the tires a couple of times when it's wet. You know, getting used to the old, you know, throttle. It's got the juice. All right, so number 5 for me is just the overall size of the truck. I've had 4 grown adults, 4 grown males in here, I should say, from work. No issues on size. I've also had, you know, there's been 2 guys and 2 ladies in the back, and they seemed to not complain about the size. They said it was, you know, it was rather fine. And for me, being, you know, up here basically by myself, I don't have any kids anymore. My kids are out of the house. They're grown. They're doing their own thing. I didn't need a super huge vehicle. So the size is the last thing. Well, not the last thing. I'm just saying that the noteworthy things for me as to why I really like this truck. All right, now let's be negative. Let's be negative, Nelly. Let's be a Karen. Let me tell you the 5 things that I really dislike about this truck. And a couple of them, they're pretty major. And they were made so major that I even considered trading the truck back in for something else. But I think I've pulled the reins back on that idea. And the thing that really made me not like this truck is the cruise control. This truck has adaptive cruise control. And what that means is when you're driving down the road, you got your cruise control on. If you come up behind a vehicle, it'll slow you down to meet the speed of that vehicle, keep a distance, which is great. It's awesome. It's fun, or not, well, I shouldn't say it's fun, but it's, you know, it's something that I'm not used to. But the problem with it is when that vehicle moves out of your way and now there's a clear path and the sensors sense a clear path, this truck, for whatever reason, tries to go from whatever speed you're doing. Say you're doing 65. It slows you down to 65 and your cruise control is set to 75. Well, it tries to go from 65 to 75 like that. And it downshifts, it starts bucking, it goes, and it, you know, it winds up the RPMs, and it's like, it is basically vehicle abuse. I mean, I don't drive like that. I don't understand why Nissan has this thing designed like that. I don't understand why somebody can't go in there and change shift points and whatnot. But it is horrible. It's so horrible that when I put on the cruise control now and I come up to a vehicle and I know the truck is slowing me down, I kick the cruise control off. I just turn it off, and then I'll stay there. You know, I'll keep my foot on the gas. I'll do like a normal cruise control until that vehicle moves out of the way, and then I'll speed up to wherever I want to go, and I'll turn the cruise control back on, because that adaptive cruise control, it's shitty. I mean, it kills your gas mileage. And, you know, leading into the second thing that I really dislike about this truck is the gas mileage. I mean, the gas mileage is terrible. I guess, you know, the V6 with 310 horsepower, you know, what I like about the truck is also something that leads me to not like about the truck. Before I put the tonneau cover on the truck, around town, I was getting 16 miles to the gallon. I mean, that's terrible. I put the tonneau cover on a couple weeks ago. I'm up to 19, so not too shabby. I haven't been out on the interstate with it yet with the tonneau cover. Hopefully I can get up into the 20s, maybe 21, 22 would be great. 23 would be amazing, but I doubt it. So yeah, those are the two major things that I really dislike about the truck. The next thing that I dislike about the truck is, well, it's the remote start. And let me get around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's get this thing remote started. So you lock it, then you hold the button to remote start. Truck starts like it should. Then you got to unlock it. And then the thing that I really dislike about it is when you get in here, now the truck is running, you get in here. Now I will say that my GMC had remote start, so this is something that I had to get used to with this one. It says right here on the dash, it says push, brake, and start switch to drive. Okay, so if you get in here and you're in a hurry or you're whatever, you put your foot on the brake and then you touch this gear shifter, you hit the button, the whole truck just shuts off. Why? Makes no sense to me. The whole truck shuts off. Yes, I understand you're supposed to put your foot on the brake and you're supposed to start it. You're supposed to hit the button. There. And then you can shift it. I don't know, it's a safety feature for children or whatever, but, you know, it could just not do anything if you know, put your finger on the gear shifter. It just makes no sense to me as to why Nissan has this thing shut off. 0 cents. None. All right, so the next thing that I really dislike about this truck, it's 2024. Right, we got cameras everywhere. I'm videoing on a GoPro. It can go underwater. We got cell phones with I don't even know how many megapixel cameras. It can zoom in and take a picture of the moon, whatever, right? But with this truck, when you put it in reverse, actually, I'm gonna have to go close the tailgate. Let me go close the tailgate. When you put this truck in reverse and you look at the screen for the camera resolution is horrible. All right, so running, here we go, put it in reverse. Now you might not be able to see it on this camera, but to the naked eye, this is terrible. Like, you can I'm not gonna say barely see it, but it is definitely not clear. It's just, I mean, come on, Nissan, you could put a better backup camera in this truck. It is, I mean, this, you know, your infotainment is nice, it's clear, it's crisp, but when you put this thing in reverse, that camera looks like, it looks like it's probably a 2015 backup camera. That's how bad the camera is. Now I will say one thing that I do like, it's got a blue line for your hitch. It helps you line up your hitch, but the resolution is just, it's horrible. Let me be honest, it's horrible. So how many is that? How many horrible How many dislikes have I given you? I've given you gas mileage. I've given you the cruise control. And that. Okay, so I got one more to make 5. Now let me get into number 5. So number 5, I don't know if I can recreate it, but I'm gonna try. So your vehicle is warm, you just pull in the driveway, you're just driving home from work, you shut your vehicle off. You get out of your vehicle, you close the door. And I didn't let it run long enough. Anyway, so, I mean, this is first world problems, let's be honest. I mean, this is really just a preference. This is something that I'm nitpicking, I guess, to make 5. But I don't like that the exhaust is ran underneath the driver's side, and then it goes over. And after you've been driving for a while, you get out of your car and it just tinging. It tings like crazy. I get it. It's hot. It's cooling down. It sounds worse than my Harley. Let's be honest with you. My Harley does not ting as much as this truck does when it's cooling down. Now, they could have ran the exhaust somewhere else, except not right there. It just drives me bananas for some reason. I've never heard it on any other vehicle that I've ever... Oh, that was it? There you go. No, it's I don't know if you could I don't know if it's going to pick it up on camera, my microphone, but trust me, it tings, and it tings rather loudly. So, all right, so for my normal viewers that, you know, have been with me for a while, I'll give you a little update on the truck, what I've done, and what I'm going to do on it. What I have left to do on it, I should say. All right, let's get over here in the shade because it is hotter than when Shakira found out that her husband's girlfriend was eating her peanut butter and jelly. All right, what am I going to do with the truck? Or actually, let's do what I've done with the truck since the last video. Well, put a tonneau cover on it. There. I've put some running boards on it over here. One of the viewers of one of my videos recommended Iron Bison, I believe the name of it is, and that's the name of the that's the brand, I should say, of the steps, slider bars, whatever you want to call them, that I put on. I think they look pretty good. They look pretty good. Another thing that I did is a previous video, I put 2-inch wheel spacers on the truck. And, well, I didn't like the look. I left them on for about a month, and then I was like, no, they're too far out. The wheels are too far out. So I went ahead and I ordered some more wheel spacers. I did 1 inch this time, and I think those are just perfect. Now you can see the wheels, and they're out just a little bit. They're not out as far as the 2 inches, obviously, because 1 inch compared to 2 inch. I just thought that it made the truck look like, I don't know, like one of those 90s Nissans where they'd slam them on the ground, the wheels were so far out. I just didn't really like the look. They were out way too far, I thought. I put the 1 inches on it and it looks much better. So that's another thing that I've done. What else did I do? I changed the oil, and that's about it. So those were the few things that I've done to the truck. Now, what do I plan to do with the truck in the future? Well, I plan on driving it, and that's about it. I'm not going to do any kind of crazy off-road stuff. I'm not going to do any crazy engine stuff. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. It's still under warranty, and I'm not going to do anything that's going to void my warranty. aftermarket parts. I think maybe, just maybe, the only other thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna maybe, just maybe, put the rough country wheel well things in there to you know, cover up the big gaps and stuff. Try to make it look a little bit more smoother. But that's, like I said, that is just a maybe. I'm not, you know, do I really want to? I think the only benefit would maybe be to deflect the salt and the snow and the slush in the wintertime, to keep it from going under there. But then it also might catch the snow and the slush and the salt in the wintertime. So I don't know, we'll see. But you know, you like this Nissan stuff, you like my likes, my 5 likes, my 5 dislikes. If you're a Nissan Frontier owner and there's other things that you like or dislike, you know, put it in a comment below. I always like to see what other people like or dislike. I watched a couple. Some of them, you know, some of the things that other people don't like, doesn't bother me. So some of the things they like, you know, I like them too. More, I don't really like them. So like, tag, share, follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You want to see when I drop more videos. And like always, till next time, thanks a lot. Oh, the helicopter, the helicopter. That's a bell.